our favorite bets for Thursday, November the 3rd. I will go first. I like the Carolina Hurricanes. They're plus 125 underdog right now in Tampa. Would expect Carolina to take some number. I'll still like it. Anything plus 110 or better. The Bolts are doing a good job of kind of treading water. They dominated the Senators, but I don't read too much into that effort. I think they're just a better team and they're kind of suited to take advantage. But even with that domination, they only won by 1 goal. The depth, that's just telling me right now, the depth just isn't there for this team like we normally see out of Tampa Bay. Will it get there? Probably. They'll make the right adjustments. They'll find the right personnel to fill out the squad as we get towards the business end of the season. But Carolina is just a much better team in the very moment. So even though they're on the road, I like the Hurricanes as an underdog. So that's my favorite bet. Carolina Hurricanes plus 125 against the Bolts.
Yeah, I think Carolina has everything you want at this price. They're an elite defensive team, got a great goalie. There's a quiet rivalry between these teams too, which maybe you could argue that makes it a better night than usual to back Tampa, who are kind of lethargic early in the regular season. We've seen it 3 years in a row. But yeah, I think Carolina, perfect underdog spot. They're going to make the game close. They're going to make it tough. I think the under is definitely a reasonable play as well, considering it was set at 6.5. So I think that's another angle I like. But yeah, I definitely like Carolina as an underdog in this spot.
And your favorite bet will take us to your favorite team.
Yeah, so we're not quite going to say back the Capitals yet, but with what they've shown lately, I think the under at 6.5 versus Detroit is a really strong play. The Wings have defended pretty well themselves. They've given up an 11th best expected goals against per 60. So that hasn't exactly been the problem, especially if they can get some reasonable goaltending. And right now, the Caps aren't what they've been traditionally, what we've, kind of been used to seeing. They don't have a high powered offense right now. They're really thin up front. And you could see the way they attacked the Carolina and Vegas games. They're looking to win closer, low scoring games right now. And I just don't see how this one's set at 6.5 at close to even money. It should be 6, I think, and that we're getting a really good number. The Caps have 2 goalies that are absolutely rolling. It'll probably be Kemper in this spot. And I think if the Wings get a reasonable goaltending performance, there's definitely, I think, a pretty good edge with the under in this game.
One thing that led me to like the Capitals before the season is that, yeah, they have all these injuries they're dealing with, but they're not like a plan A or plan A team. Like, this is a very adaptable team. They have a coach who will kind of adjust to what their strengths are at a given time, whether through injury or bad goaltending. We saw it last year when they needed to just kind of stay afloat, given the circumstances and the standings, and their goaltending needed to find a way. So you can just trust them. This is a veteran team to not shoot themselves in the foot. So that kind of lends to your bet there that they're not going to want to get into, a run and gun kind of situation with any team right now because they just don't have the horses. So the under does look good there.
And sorry to chime in with like a couple, I guess, 2 notes that I think are relevant here. Detroit, they've defended quite reasonably. They had the bad performance versus Buffalo, but I think this is a good spot for them to bounce back, and they're probably going to be looking to clean up a lot of those errors. And offensively, they don't have a ton of punch right now either. They're short some key players, and it's not like this is a roster the Caps can't keep under wraps. So yeah, and then I think the last note, John Carlson remaining out of the lineup, that helps the under. This is an angle I've played just because he moves the puck so well on the power play and he helps them in that area. And he's obviously such an offensive producer, but he's not good in his own zone. He lends himself to make a lot of high end mistakes. So I think just everything in this game, I'm not sure how it's set at 6.5. I think it should be 6. And yeah, we've got a lot of value with this price.